Hello, everyone. Today we're going to talk about email and SMS marketing, or in the business we call it retention marketing. And we'll also cover a bit about cold outreach and how to get customers via email who don't know you, who are completely oblivious to your business, and how to get them eventually to convert and become your customers or clients. This is something that a lot of people will say in 2026 is outdated. Nobody opens their emails anymore. It's going to spam mostly. And, to some extent, that would be true compared to, for example, to like 10 years ago. Definitely things have changed, and for the worse, for the marketer at least. For the user, depends. But this channel is still very, very underutilized by many folks in marketing. And for you as future marketers, as future entrepreneurs, you'll have to use email to your best advantage, because it is the cheapest tool you have, at your disposal. Sending emails sometimes costs nothing, or costs a few bucks a month, and it is widely profitable. So we'll touch upon that in a second. So let's just start with the presentation. So own the list, keep the customer. That's the motto. The motto behind this, or like the message behind this motto is own the list, meaning you own these people's contacts and way to get to them, and you can conversate, or you can talk to these people whenever you want, whenever you decide is best for you to talk to them. The algorithm doesn't decide it for you. The budgets do not decide when, for example, when it comes to paid email and SMS. If you have somebody's email, or if you have their phone number, you can always contact them until they block you, which sometimes happens if you're not careful. But if you have a good relationship with your audience, and you have their direct contact, then that's the best possible channel that you can have. At least it's the safest one, because when it comes to SEO, Google can ban your website, can penalize your website to oblivion. When it comes to paid, Meta can change their algorithm. You can spend your money, so you don't have budgets, so that you no longer can reach out to these people. When it comes to social media, your algorithm can change. Your profiles can be banned. So all of those things you do not control. Emails, you control them. That's it. And you can change as many domains as you want. You can always contact these people. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. If you have the list, your business can continue talking to your potential customers. If you don't have a list, you're starting from zero, and you can blow up, and you can have a widely successful business without email marketing. But it's that much more safer if you do have a good list. So imagine if your business gets an Instagram account banned. Obviously, that wouldn't be ideal, especially if your business, or like many businesses, thousands and tens of hundreds of thousands of businesses mostly get their business from Instagram directly, for example. So be careful, and always be introspectful, and always be expecting the worst outcomes to happen, and then obviously hope for the best and work towards the best. And if the worst outcome does not happen, even better. If it does happen, you are already prepared. This is a quick roadmap of the things that we're going to cover. So when it comes to followers, they belong to the platform. So your followers that you have on Instagram, if Instagram again bans it, you have no control over it. So they can just ignore your request to get your account unbanned. So your contacts belong to you, your friends, your family, the email lists, the phone numbers that you have, the addresses of the people you have. Door-to-door sales is still a thing. People are knocking on their neighbors' doors, asking, can they, mow their lawn. That's how business is getting still created. So, but in digital sense, email and SMS is your best bet. Why email out-earns the channel that killed it? So, average ROI, or return on investment, is 30 to 40 bucks for every dollar spent. So whatever, every dollar you spend on email marketing, you can expect 30 to 40 bucks, depending on the industry, back, if you do things correctly, of course. It is among the highest ROI in marketing. You already pay to acquire these people, maybe through lead magnets, maybe through already existing business, or maybe through some lead gen, but you have already paid it, and every cent afterwards, it's basically free, you know, if not completely free. 5x roughly what a new customer costs versus selling again to an existing one. So if you already have somebody's email, you already did some business with them, it's that much more cheaper, like 5 times as efficient or as effective or as efficient, let's say. Acquisition is very expensive, especially through paid ads, but with email, I mean, through retention, it's super, super cheap. And yeah, content expires, ads fatigue, algorithms change, the list just grows. So if you have a good list, you nurture it, you always send good informational stuff to these people, they will mostly remain there. Sometimes they'll unsubscribe, which is fine, but mostly they'll stay there. So how to get people to subscribe to your list? Building a list is a whole science in and of itself, and we can honestly have many lessons just on that topic, but you shouldn't be striving to get people to sign up to a newsletter. You should get people to get excited about what you have to tell them or what you have to share with them. If you tell them, hey, I can give you amazing 7 revenue opportunities, or I can give you the best subject line that has 80% open rate, just submit your email here. Then they'll submit it because you already offered something valuable to them, and a bunch of people will, whoever is feeling that pain point, they will submit. Sometimes just out of curiosity, and then based on their different behavior, you can see, okay, this is a business owner who has this actual issue, so maybe I can help them with that. Maybe this is somebody, fellow marketer, maybe I can partner up with them. Maybe this is somebody that's just curious, so I'll just keep them on the nurture emails, just staying in touch, sharing some valuable things, but I will not sell to them because they're not ideal customers for me. So you can kind of find those segments and the audiences of people, but just offer them something and make it instant. The second they sign up, provide something to them. We see often in the industry, somebody buys something, they receive an email, hey, or they sign up for a lead form, lead gen, and you send them a lead gen, and there's no follow up, there's no relationship building there. You can just send them a link, or even sometimes the link doesn't work, or stuff like that. That's a killer. Obviously these people will be very frustrated. So make it instant as possible. Do not send it in an hour or two. Make it instant, and make in the lead gen and then the email itself, try to build a relationship from there. Ask them, hey, if this email went to spam, can you move it to your primary inbox? And a lot of people will do that, and it will help your domain authority. But more on that later. Yeah, so it attracts the kind of person who'd eventually buy, if depending on what how you are getting these lists. But if you're in the lead gen, you have if you're in your lead magnet, if you have hey, 7 best ways how to use email for D2C brands, then whoever signs up for that obviously works with D2C brands, so they could eventually become your customer if you, for example, offer email marketing services. So through lead magnet, you can already filter out who's who. How to provide lead magnet. And when I see lead magnet, it can be a PDF, it can be a PowerPoint, it can be a book, it can be an ebook, it can be many things. Whatever people might find valuable, and you provide it to them for free, and just in return they have to leave their email. That's a lead gen, or the lead magnet, sorry. So it's basically a magnet for leads, and leads are people who may eventually become your customers. How to get these? So through pop-ups on your website. There's a pop-up, somebody scrolling through your blog, there's a pop-up, hey, blah, blah, blah. If you're a business owner and you are doing this, you might find this useful. Then they'll leave their email, and then you contact them afterwards. Embedded forms, again, forms on the page, custom landing pages, checkout opt-ins, lead ads, or and finally, never buy a list. So yeah, these are like some of the methods how you can get these, where to place these lead magnets. But one major thing to highlight is never buy a list. Again, ethically speaking, legally speaking, you should never buy a list. But industry, I guess, secret is that a bunch of people still buy lists, and that's something that I do not condone, or we do not do here at FlyRank, but it is definitely a real reality, and you will most likely fail at your campaign if you're sending to a bot list. But it is an option, just unfortunately for all of us, not a good option. We have to honestly make our lists and build our list through providing value. So don't do it. Okay, so when it comes to email marketing, there are automated emails, automations, or sequences, or flows, whatever you want to call them, and there's campaigns. Automations are obviously somebody does something, you send them a few emails sequence where you provide certain value based on what they did to get those emails. So there's an event, for example, like they bought something, so that's an event. It's a customer event. We track, okay, for that customer, we send thank you email. Hey, thank you for buying with us. Here's a 10% discount code for your next purchase, or something like that. Then the second email is 2 days later. Hey, are you liking your T-shirt that you bought from us? So that's an automation or a sequence or a flow. The second type of emails they can send for these, like, let's say, nourishment emails is campaigns. So we already have a list, like there's a bunch of people who have bought from you or have interacted with your website in some way, or left their email in the lead magnet, and you want to send them a discount for Christmas discounts, for example, or Halloween discount, or 4th of July discount, or whatever. And it's a one-time thing. It's not a campaign that goes like on for like a few days or weeks, and depending on their actions, it does have nothing to do with that. It just, this is the date, we are running this discount, so that's a campaign for that. Or it can be just, you internally discuss with your team, hey, we want to earn more reviews. So it's illegal to ask, or not. Sometimes it's illegal, depends honestly on your jurisdiction, but it's not I guess white hat technique to ask for positive reviews, but you can ask for reviews. You can't ask, hey, give me 5-star. Can you give me 5-star review on Trustpilot? But you can say, hey, can you give me what did you think about our service, and send them a Trustpilot a link. So that could happen. That could be a campaign, so you get better ratings on your Trustpilot or on your Google business profile. So those are the automations and the differences between automations and campaigns. So here in this slide, we're going to talk about welcome flow, or let's say the thank you one. So that's the one that first, when people interact with your business first, those are the emails that they get, and this is generally the highest open email you will ever send. There are also another type called transactional emails. So that means if, for example, you're using, let's say, an app, and you're on a free plan, just trying it out, and then let's say ChatGPT, and then ChatGPT sends you an email, hey, you have spent 80% of your limit. So that's like, hey, or you have spent your 100% of your limit, you can no longer use free plan. That's a transactional, because they are just telling you, hey, this is your product, or our product, it's limited to this. So you have to make a decision whether to either stop using the product, or like they're informing you, or you can buy additional credits so you can keep using the app, for example. So that's just a transactional. That's not marketing email. So we're talking about marketing emails. Welcome emails open at 3 to 4 times as much as normal campaigns, and the moment they sign up is the moment they care most. The first email fires instantly, automatically. So that's the automation. For example, so somebody leaves their email and they want to get the PDF you prepared. So they go to a website, leave it in the pop-up, and then they have to receive the here's your download, who we are, what to expect, how often, ask for a reply, ask to move them to primary, ask to put a star next to your name, whatever. Then the second email is something else. Hey, we are flying. We represent this. We want to achieve this. Thank you so much for keeping business with us. So, and providing some value to them. Then a few days later, or a day or two later, depending on what you sell and what the automation is, you provide them even more value. And then after a few emails, you're like, hey, can you leave us a review, or can you buy something else from us? So here's a discount if you convert, if you buy this now or today, for example. So that's like automation. There are many, many different automations, and we can honestly, that's a few years of experience as well there, like working with many different brands, both in D2C and B2B. So, but just you can always, of course, use AI to educate yourself, and of course YouTube and working in the industry. So that's the automations. Campaigns are the content. So it's a one-off you write this week or write today, and you just send it today, and that's it. We can have follow-up campaigns, maybe 2 or 3, but it's not an automation. It doesn't depend on somebody's action. You just send it out. Automation is triggered by what a person does and runs forever, or until a certain day, until you set it up. But the money is mostly in 3 of them. So the automations, talking about automation, the quiet ones. So if somebody is not responding to your emails or not using your app, you see in the app usage, they're not using your app, so you send them an email after like 90 days. Hey, do you still want this? And if you want to here's a 50% discount. So you're trying to win them back. You expect them to stop using your app, stop paying you. You're like, hey, here's a 50% discount, or here's additional credits so you can try out our new latest feature. So you're trying to win them back. Replenishment, for example, like the easiest sell, a product lasts 30 days, email on day 25. Hey, are you about to run out? So you're selling a subscription of, let's say, I don't know, razor blades, for shaving, I don't know. And you have sent them a package that lasts them for 3 months. And after 3 months, you send them an email, like before those 3 months expire, you send an email, hey, are you about to go out of or run out of your razor blades for shaving? Here's another batch for 20% discount. You don't even have to always offer a discount. You just have to remind them. Sometimes people tend to forget. And the post-purchase one is super important. So after the sale happens, you confirm it. Hey, thank you for ordering. We're going to send you your package or your credits, whatever. Then you explain how to use it. You request for a review, and then but that's an automation that we already covered. The layer under it all is segmentation. Is again one of the most important things in email marketing. That's sending by what people did, and not just sending every single email to every single person. If it's a win-back campaign, I mean, you're not sending to people who are. When I say campaign, it can be an automation as well. So but just bear with me. So you're not going to send every email to every single person, or you're just sending. You have an app. You have like free plan. You have a $10 plan. You're not going to send the same emails to those who are on the free plan and those who are on the $10 plan. You're sending them different things. For the ones that are on the free plan, you're sending them, hey, here's a discount. You're just trying to get them to pay something to use your app, or you're trying to get them, provide them enough value so they eventually get a habit of using your app, so they eventually have to pay $10 in order to keep using it. For the $10 plan, if you don't have anything else, you're trying to get reviews, you're trying to keep them happy, try to maybe give them a bit more features and stuff like that, and just try to keep that conversation happening. And maybe for some of them, eventually you're like, okay, here's a $20 plan, and then you're trying to upsell to the $20 plan. So that's different things. If somebody is stop using your app, you send them one thing. If somebody is using your app so much, you send them, hey, thank you so much. Here's whatever, can you give us a review? Different people should be communicated differently. You're not the same as me. I'm not the same as the next person. So, and I don't find the same value in every single email like you do, for example, nor you do as me, or vice versa, I would say. So you have to find what people get emotional about, or what triggers people to make an action. So you can segment people or create audiences by purchase. Hey, some of them bought like $10 plan, some of them never bought, like a free plan. Buyers get loyalty and cross-sell, like selling other stuff, and browsers get proof and first order offers. Hey, for the first order, here's a 50% discount, the second order, or buy one, get one free, for example. I don't know. By engagement, somebody opened your app or your emails recently, and somebody has gone quiet. The ones who are engaged readers get more. The quiet ones get the win back. Hey, did you forget about us? Here's something to keep you occupied. By interest. Somebody clicked on a link that goes to SEO content, you're obviously going to send them SEO stuff. And if they clicked on the, I don't know, SEO ads content, then obviously they're interested more in ads, so you send them more ads, or you find offers that that would trigger them for ads. So the more a message matches the person, the better every number gets. Blasting the full list with everything is how beginners burn a list down. By burning a list down means people mark you as spam, they unsubscribe, they send you nasty emails, they report you. So yeah, that's how you lose your domain authority, reputation, and that's how you lose your list. Email is the conversation, SMS is tap on the shoulder. And this is an opportunity for me to quickly cover SMS as well. Emails, I mean, everybody gets them, but SMS marketing or WhatsApp marketing, for example, would qualifies this, is also a method of retention marketing. You're trying to retain people, and sometimes maybe they're not checking their emails, but you send them an SMS. You have to do it a bit more carefully because SMS is a lot more private actually than email. People are used to receiving spam emails, good emails, bad emails all the time. But SMS is something, I guess, more sacred to them. So just be more mindful of that. But open rates are good. Like it can be very, very profitable. You just don't have to. You just can't annoy them too much. And SMS, you pay percent. The email is basically free, but I mean, you can do both, of course. How to get their phone numbers. There are methods you can get their phone numbers, but traditionally you try to ask them for their phone number, and you ask them by offering some value. And once they leave their phone number, then you have their phone number in your list. Then you can call them or send them an SMS. Okay, so a bit more on the technical side. I know some of you are definitely technically tech savvy. Some of you maybe not. That's not an issue, honestly, anymore with AI. All of these things you can ask Claude to explain or even make for you. But before then, I had to learn all of this myself, and how to host a domain properly, how to handle DNS. But this is a part of what makes email sending a bit more technical, is what gets emails sent to spam versus what gets them into primary inbox. And authentication is one of the things. So SPF, which service may send, actually, I won't explain it, but you have to have all of these things. SPF, DKIM, DMARC, then a few others as well, but these are the main ones for authentication purposes. You should use your custom domain. You should never send emails from @Gmail. Hey, Adel @gmail.com sent you, hey, I'm gonna make your business millions. Like, nobody's gonna believe that. I receive all those emails all the time, and then what? They are just in spam folder. I never see them. So you should have a custom domain. You should warm up the custom domain, and if you're using that domain as your main business domain, you should have a subdomain that you're sending emails from, or a completely different one just for sending. So you have to maintain your reputation. But that's, again, more on the technical side. I won't bother you to that with it. There are many, many good resources on that. Authentication, sending text. What text are you sending? If you're using too many spammy words, hey, I'm going to make you $1 trillion in the next 3 months. This is money back guarantee, free trial, free. Those that are spam trigger words, and you can Google them or ask ChatGPT or Claude, what are some spam words that I should avoid using in my emails? And it will provide you with the list, and then you should just avoid using that list of words. You can use synonyms or some other phrasing, but do not use that spammy list. And so on and so on. There are many things on how you can make sure your emails land in primary inbox and not in spam. So Email reputation or domain reputation or mailbox reputation even is super important. So there's domains, so you can use subdomain or a different domain for sending emails. That's domain reputation. There's IP reputation as well. That's a different thing. There's also mailbox. So I can have adel@flyrank.com sending emails, adel.rovchanin, my last name, at flyrank.com sending emails. That's two different mailboxes. Each mailbox has its own sort of a reputation. But in general, when sending emails in your email provider that you're using to send emails, your report should show spam complaints, and it has to be under 0.3%, ideally under 0.1%. So that means one angry reader in 8,000. That obviously means that the reputation is healthy. Make unsubscribing easy. If the people don't want to receive your emails, then don't send them emails. It's just going to hurt your domain reputation. If they just click the email, delete it without reading it, that sends signals to Gmail and other ESPs that this sender is not very good. They're sending bad stuff that nobody cares about. And clean the list. If people are not responding to you, not engaging anyway for 3, 5, 6, 9 months, a year, just remove them from the list. They don't want to be part of it. You tried the win-back campaigns, automation, and so on. They are not there, so just remove them. If the emails are bouncing from a list, from somebody, from a contact, remove that contact. Do not keep sending to that contact. And send consistently to people who engage. They will help your reputation. So where AI can help you and where AI fits. The copy, of course, drafted by AI, and we already covered the copywriting session. You can see it in YouTube, either videos or stream. I cannot remember which one was it, but the copy, you can draft it by AI, and everything that I've mentioned here so far, it can be managed in a tool like Brevo, for example. Brevo it can be used to send to segment people, to create audiences and lists of people. You can add custom data to all of these people. Hey, this is Adel. He works here. His title is here. He clicked on this link, and so on and so on. So you can create a profile for every contact, and then once you have that contact, you can send them custom campaigns and automations and so on. So you can use Brevo. Brevo is not the only one. There are many, many more. But I'm just here. I mentioned Brevo because we use Brevo internally, among other tools, honestly. So yeah, subject lines, of course, emails, hooks, super important. Whole sequence. You can use AI to build the whole sequence. AI does a wonderful job there. But you know your customers. You know your business. So test as well. Test. Here's one. A/B testing is super important in email marketing. You send one campaign to a list, and you send to the same list but different people version B. Just see which one gets better open rates, better click-through rates. So yeah, keep testing. Personalization. So it's like, hey, first name, and that first name gets pulled from Brevo's database, and then it populates it. So it's hi Adel. And you can have that personalization, or you can have a much more complicated personalization, taking into account their business, their title, and so on. So be mindful of that. This topic here is not about nourishment anymore, or like that keeping that customer happy, or maybe selling them a bit more. This is about reaching out to people who do not know anything about you or your business, and you just have to somehow grow your business. So one channel that you can use is cold outreach. Cold outreach can be via email, that we're going to talk about here, via cold calling, just picking up the phone, calling somebody, and so on. There are very, very heavy regulations on how to do this, so I encourage you to definitely educate yourself more on that. But as a quite quick intro, we use, for example, Instantly. It just gives you everything that you need to start. I would say there are many different tools that you can use for enrichment and finding different contacts and so on that are better than Instantly, for example. But just for sake of simplicity, I will, if you just want to try it out, you can use Instantly. It's the most, I guess, famous one that everybody uses. So I have a business. My business is FlyRank. I want to sell FlyRank services to a bunch of brands that are selling, I don't know, supplements. So I go into Instantly or a similar tool and then try to find certain in their database, try to find certain people that I can contact, that I can, and then set up domains, set up mailboxes, set up messaging, how I want to messaging, set up the automations, when to send. I don't want to send them emails in 2 a.m. in the morning. So if their phone pings, they're like, who is this? It woke them up and it just annoys them and they send an angry email. So you don't want to do that. Again, how you cold email in the cold call, it's super important to follow the law of the country that you're in, that you're sending in, GDPR and so on. So make sure to stay compliant. But again, it is a channel that people still use to grow their businesses, and it's a very, very profitable channel for many businesses. So an email becomes a profile. Describe the customer, get the list. So some of these tools work like, hey, I need marketing managers or I need dentists in Chicago. That's it. And you Instantly and Clay and some of these tools just give you a bunch of list of people who, most of them will be dentists, some of them maybe not, but you just send emails to these people and then you see if they respond or not. And if they're not responding, then you have to change something. Have to see whether your email goes to spam or maybe just your offer isn't good enough to entice them to respond. So yeah, retention email is permission based. They asked, you reply something, you have that correspondence. And cold outbound is permissionless. So you have to use separate domains, tiny volumes. Do send. If you have a list of 10,000 people, do not send just to 10,000 people. You have to warm up. There are different laws, compliances. So do not mix it. It's a completely different thing from your retention. Retention is, hey, somebody interacted with me and I'm trying to develop a relationship with them. Cold outreach, that is Wild West, let's say, but it can be still very profitable. Okay, so for the closing chapter, remember 3 things, and we're going to end up with an assignment as well. Remember 3 things. If you forget everything else, number 1, own the list. The only marketing asset that compounds and nobody can take it away. You can always export your list, have it in CSV, and it's yours on your computer. You have that list, and you have permission from these people to contact them. Number 2, build a machine once. So all of these automations, welcome, win back, replenishment, post-purchase, abandonment cart, checkout abandonment, and so on. These automations will work. You just have to invest a bit of time, set up once, leave it for some time, get the data. If the open rates are bad, just change subject line, and so on and so on. So just test and see what is working. And then once you hit the sweet spot, then you just hammer double down and so on. You get asked also for feedback for your clients. So, but yeah, you have to build the machine once and then you have to iterate. And number 3, never send what you wouldn't want to receive. Be mindful, even if it's legal or whatever. It doesn't necessarily mean you can send anything to anybody. Don't send stuff that's not valuable. So ask for permission, provide value, provide them an easy way out so they can unsubscribe. Deliverability is just good manners enforced, but don't get it to a point where somebody's enforcing something to you. Be kind, be respectful, and just try to do this work respectfully and mindfully. Be mindful of somebody's mood, somebody's privacy, and so on. Okay, so your assignment, and I would say this one could be one of the more interesting ones for you, is launch a real newsletter, guys. Newsletter is a form of email marketing. It is a form of nourishment email marketing. So for a client or a client or yourself, I don't care. Just launch a newsletter. Not a plan, not a draft, but actually live on the internet. You can set it up for free. You can use Beehiiv or Substack or something else. These are like the biggest ones. Both should take under an hour. Decide the angle. Who is it for, and what does every issue deliver? So for Flyer, it could be a weekly AI SEO brief. Again, I don't necessarily mean you have to use for Flyer. You can have your own. Hey, I'm Adel, and I'm sharing SEO tips every single week. And then you can mention Flyer in it, and you can mention somebody else. But just decide what you want to do. It can be under your own name. That should be a good portfolio, I guess, a good thing in your portfolio. And yeah, if you're doing for a client, then just whatever their audience would actually open. Build a sign up page. Again, using Beehiiv Substack should be easy. Write the first welcome email, draft the first issue, and then use, of course, Claude to go back to the copywriting session, figure out like how you want to position your newsletter. Some newsletters are super like business. Hey, this is what happened in your industry. This is what you should do. This is what worked for this business. Some are super like funny, and they're sharing memes and like, hey, within the memes, like they're joking about the Google's latest update. So you still learn, but it's a bit more engaging, a bit more fun, if that's your style at least. So yeah, that's about it. How you hand in is you send us the live sign up page link in the assignment. And yeah, link works plus welcome emails fires when we submit it, then that's the assignment done. A published newsletter with 3 subscribers beats a perfect plan with 0, so you can just start. That's about it. You can send me questions in the comments or at support@flyrank.com. And yeah, thank you so much for your attention. Yeah, see you in the next one. Bye-bye.